It worked. It's about damn time. The Michigan Attorney General is finally investigating the Twin Flames universe. And let's be real, they wouldn't be raiding Jeff and Shaleia's home unless they had substantial evidence to prosecute. You really think a judge just signs off on a raid because someone's feelings got hurt? No. That warrant means probable cause. It means they've been watching them for a while, gathering data, and now it's game time. Now, if you've ever watched any of my videos about these scammers, you already know I've been pretty much a smartass from day one. Yeah, I watched the Netflix doc, and sure, I was shocked seeing Jeff force people to change their gender. That was messed up. But the more I watched, the more Jeff just made a complete ass of himself. Don't get me wrong. They've got all the cult traits. Blind devotion, no questioning, isolation from family. But what really stood out to me wasn't just the cult mind control. It was the multi-level marketing scam underneath it all. People joined. They paid the big bucks. Some woke up and left, and some stayed. And yeah, some even changed their gender. Now, but here's the thing. As twisted as that is, changing your gender isn't illegal. What I was out to expose was what they were doing illegally. The money funneling, the tax scams, the self-appointed therapy with no credentials. That's what I've always been after. Then, of course, they come up with this brilliant idea, let's form a nonprofit. Because why not? It's an easy way to not pay taxes and get free volunteer labor. Jeff, he gets richer. They get pittance. So let's talk about their Church of Union. Just last year, they wrote off over $80,000 for their SLS, Sunday Live Service. Do you know what that is? It's their monetized YouTube channel. I want you to think about that for a second. They're writing off tens of thousands of dollars in expenses for streaming YouTube sermons to followers who already paid to be in their programs. Does that sound legit to you? That's why I started making video charts and breakdowns to show exactly how this scheme works and who actually benefits. Spoiler alert, it's not the followers. And let's not forget about MAP, Mind Alignment Process. It's another thing that has always deeply bothered me about the Twin Flames universe. They claim to be coaches, but they're not just coaching relationship goals or mindset motivation. They're diving into serious mental health territory, PTSD, trauma, neurological disorders, without any credentials. They act like they're qualified therapists, trauma specialists, or mental health professionals. They're not. They're self-appointed. And lately, they've started claiming to be autistic to validate their mind alignment process, as if that gives them expertise on neurodivergence. So let me be clear. Working with PTSD requires training. Treating trauma is medical and psychological care. Charging people for unlicensed trauma processing is not just unethical, it is dangerous. This is what's always driven my investigation. Not just cult mind control, but the real damage they do when they play the therapist without any qualifications. At the end of the day, I did over 20 videos exposing these scammers. I wanted someone to notice what they were actually doing. But you know what? My channel is small. I never got much attention. Most people honestly didn't give two shits about this group. Because, let's be real, scammers are everywhere these days. So, yeah, I mocked the shit out of their ridiculous crap. Divine Dish was my all-time favorite. Charging money for recipes you can literally download online. But the best moment, in the W5 documentary, when Avery asked Jason, the chef, where the recipes came from, and he looked up all spiritual and said, God. I about lost it. God gave him Betty Crocker's muffin recipe. Okay. But here's the bottom line. My channel did one thing right. Avery from W5 found me. I helped with their investigation, gave them every chart, every number breakdown. I created every single thing my husband and I created to show everything. Because that documentary wasn't fluff, it wasn't spiritual drama for clicks, it was a real investigation. Yes, they covered coercion. Yes, they talked to victims, but they also showed the fraud, the money trails, the tax scams. I don't need credit. I don't need the spotlight. All I have ever cared about is calling out users and scammers like Jeff and Shaleia. Because truth is truth, and eventually it always comes out. I've been producing content for over 30 years, but I gotta be real with you, I'm burnt out. I wish YouTube was still about people actually doing something of value. But these days, all I see are people chasing views, hits, and popularity. Me? I actually do care. I care about exposing scammers like Jeff and Shaleia. I care about showing people the truth behind their bullshit. But it's draining when no one else around you cares. They don't seem to give a shit, unless, of course, it benefits them. And now, Michigan's Attorney General agrees there is probable cause that crimes have been committed. Multiple search warrants have been executed, the investigation is underway, and for the first time there is real momentum to hold Jeff and Shaleia Divine, Jason and Christine Emmerich accountable for the damage they've done and the money they've stolen under the guise of spiritual truth. And you know what? Any woman who can make Jeff cry is my hero. Oh, but wait, those are fake tears. But I bet he ain't fake crying now.